We're back with another 2026 Ibanez guitar, and this is possibly the model that I'm the most excited to show you. This is the AR625FMSP, and it's part of Ibanez's extremely underrated, at least in my opinion, series of AR guitars. Now, the AR model was one of Ibanez's first original designs. Kind of looks a little bit like a double-cut Les Paul, but a little bit more pointy, if you will, but it is clearly its own thing. Now, as of time of filming, there are a few guitars available in the AR family, but the AR625 comes in at the top of the line. However, this is still an affordable guitar in the grand scheme of things. This is a made-in-China model, and as of January 2026, it should set you back around 850 euros, or about the same in US dollars. But prices could vary, so check out the links below just in case. However, this is going to be something that, for this price point, offers you a whole smorgasbord of tones, playability, and options. Now, what I'm going to do in this video is start by telling you about the specs and features, everything you need to know about this guitar. Then I'll play it for you in as many different musical styles as I can possibly manage. And afterwards, I'll give you a few of my own personal opinions about this instrument. I've had it on loan from Ibanez Germany just for a few days to make this video before they get it back for the launch. So this is a pre-launch video that I'm shooting for you now, and there's a lot for me to say about it. Timestamps to everything in the video is going to be down there in the description and the comments if you'd like to skip to a part that suits you best. But let's kick things off with the specs, the info, everything you need to know about this guitar. And straight away you'll notice that this guitar does have a bit of bling going on, but it's nice and understated in other ways as well. It's a beautiful looking guitar, at least in my opinion. Now, we've got an okoume body here and a flame maple top, and the finish is caramel burst low gloss. So it's a beautiful satin sort of a finish. The wood grain comes through really nicely. It's really nicely matched as well, a two-piece top, and it looks absolutely beautiful. Now, if I move us around to the back of the body, you can see the okoume wood there. Looks very similar to mahogany, as you'd expect, and we've got a nice big cutaway there for you on the back as well. And you can see here that we've got a lovely smooth contoured neck joint there as well for great upper fret access too. So that's very cool to start us off. On the body, we've got gold hardware, which I think goes very well with the finish too. And we've got two pickups here. They're two of Ibanez's Super 80 humbucking pickups. And you'll know these if you know the 2024 Ibanez Iceman model. I've had that. I love that guitar. And I'm very, very surprised to see the same pickups in this guitar as there are in the Iceman. But there we go. However, this being Ibanez, we get even more in terms of switching. Now, you have your standard three-way switch to move between the two pickups. We also have a volume and a tone control for each of the pickups, but the eagle-eyed among you will have noticed that we have two extra switches here, and these are Ibanez's tri-sound switches, and they give you access to three different types of pickup within each pickup, if you will. Now, when the tri-sound switches are in the down position, as they are now, you've got your standard serial humbucker. Move them to the middle, and you split them down to true single coils. Move them up, and you have a parallel humbucker operation, which you can kind of think of as being a bit less like a standard humbucker and more as being like two single coil pickups next to one another. So they're still humbucking, and they're going to give us in-between sounds, somewhere between a single coil and a humbucker, maybe even a bit quacky, like a Strat or something like that. But we'll hear all of the settings in the playing part of the video. And there are a lot of settings to get through, because on the bridge humbucker, well, you can move between the three different tri-sound options. On the neck pickup, you can do the same thing, and you really get extra options galore when you move to the middle setting and have both pickups on, because each pickup can be operated in three different positions. So my poor maths would suggest to me that there are a total of 15 different sounds within the switching system of this guitar. And like I said, you are going to hear all of them. It's a mind-boggling array of tones, and I'll talk about my favorites in the opinions part of the video once I'm done with the playing samples. Now, in terms of the rest of the hardware on the front of the guitar, we've got Ibanez's own in the bridge and the tailpiece. The bridge is their Gibraltar Performer bridge, and the tailpiece is their quick change classic tailpiece. We've also got binding around the edge of the body, not on the back though, and let's just go around to the back one more time just to take a look at that. It is a beautiful looking guitar in every sense, and that continues when we move up to the neck. And the first thing you're going to notice is the fact that we've got this rather bling Ibanez Tree of Life inlay on the bound ebony fretboard. It's a beautiful looking thing. It certainly is going to be something that's eye-catching if you're on stage or something like that. You'll either love it or you hate it. For me personally, I love it, and I actually think it goes really well with the overall aesthetic of the guitar. It's not too much, it's close, but it's really not too much. Anyway, we've got a bound ebony fingerboard underneath that Tree of Life inlay there, 22 medium frets here, and the neck itself is a satin maple affair. It's a really nice slinky feeling thing. It's got the Ibanez AR neck profile, which is nothing as thin as a wizard neck or anything like that, but it is really nice, smooth, slinky, not too chunky, very easy to get up and down. We have a 43mm plastic nut. The scale length is 24 3/4 inches or 628mm. That's Gibson scale length. And the fingerboard radius here is going to be 305mm. That's 12 inches. So quite flat, but not super duper flat. And up at the headstock, we've got that pretty nice, elegant looking Ibanez AR headstock and their gold own brand tuners there as well. So this is the Ibanez AR625FMSP, and now it's time to make some sounds with this guitar. And like I said before, there are going to be a huge array of tones to make with it, so I will note down which pickup and which of the tri-sound settings we're hearing at any one time, just so you know what we're doing. But go through and listen to your favorites and let me know what you think in the comments. Now my rig for today is going to be my Hughes & Kettner Black Spirit 200 amp head with some of my favorite overdrive and distortion pedals to spice things up a bit. We'll start with some pristine cleans and we'll go all the way through to down-tuned modern metal sounds, because after all, these Super 80 flying finger humbucking pickups are the same as the ones in the Iceman, so this guitar should be able to do everything from pristine jazzy cleans through to modern down-tuned metal and everything in between, no problem. Enough talk then, this is the Ibanez AR625. Let's play it now and we'll speak in a bit more detail about it afterwards. Okay then, so that was the Ibanez AR625FMSP, and I hope you enjoyed the playing and the tones. And there were an awful lot of tones to get through in this video, so please leave me a comment down there telling me what you think of this guitar. Do you find that these pickups, these tri-sound switches, give you all of the sounds that you would need? Is it overkill, or is this something that you really need in your setup? And is this a guitar that you could use to replace many other guitars in your setup? Let me know your thoughts as usual, and I look forward to getting a bit of a discussion going. But now it's time for me to tell you my thoughts and opinions about the AR625. The folks at Ibanez Germany sent this guitar to me just for a week or so to quickly make this video before the launch, so I've got this before anybody else effectively. So I didn't have that much time with it, but I've played it intensively and extensively in that time, because in many ways I can't put this guitar down, and it has really replaced many other guitars in my setup during this time. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to give this one back because they need it for launch and marketing stuff, but I'm definitely going to need to get another one of these guitars in at some point in the future. But anyway, let's start and let me tell you about what I think about this specific guitar. Now, my first impressions of it were fantastic. I think it's a brilliant looking thing. I love a satin finish guitar, and the caramel burst low gloss finish on this one is lovely. The juxtaposition with the blinginess of the Tree of Life inlay is a wonderful thing to behold, and I think it's a great looking guitar throughout. It's not too much, it is very rock and roll, but not too crazy. So it's a great looking guitar. I was really attracted to it in that way, and when I picked it up I realized that we've got a great weight going on here and a really lovely balancing guitar as well. Now, this specific one weighs in at 3.48 kilograms, which is £7.10 or thereabouts, and if you know me, you'll know that I like a quite light guitar. Anything under £8 is a win for me, so this guitar is a win in the weight stakes too. So my first impressions of the guitar were great, and then I started to look at the build quality and the specs and the features that we've got here, and as is kind of the normal thing for Ibanez's for me, at least in the past 2 or 3 years, I was expecting a flawless build, and that's what we've got here. There are no complaints to speak of whatsoever with this guitar. Sure, it was sent to me by Ibanez Germany, and this is one of the guitars that they've picked out to showcase the new range, so it is going to be a great example, but I can't find anything to flaw this guitar in terms of the design or the build whatsoever. All of the electronics work flawlessly, the setup is great straight from the factory. All of the hardware does its job, the neck is a joy. Setup, action and intonation are really, really good, so no problems with the build whatsoever. And then it came to plugging in and starting to play, and I find that the AR625 is a fantastic playing guitar as well. It's incredibly comfy. I really like the double cutaway body shape. It's nice and compact, and it really sits well against my rib cage too, and I find that I've got great upper fret access, not that I need that too much given the types of music that I personally play. And I'm a huge fan of the neck of this guitar as well. I really like this AR neck profile. I love the fact that it's satin, and the setup of the guitar's neck has also been done flawlessly as well. So playing and noodling away on this guitar for hours is just bags of fun, and I rate it extremely highly in the playability stakes. And the other crucial thing to talk about is the tones of this guitar. Now, with these Ibanez Super 80 humbucking pickups, which are the same as the ones in the 2024 Ibanez Iceman, which I absolutely love, we should be able to get everything all the way up to full-on chunky metal tones. And with the tri-sound switches, we've got access to split coils and serial and parallel humbucking tones as well. This should be a guitar that should be able to do anything, and I can confirm that I think you can play any style of music ever with this guitar. Leave me your thoughts and comments though, telling me what you think of the tones of this guitar. But for me, well, I just love these Super 80 humbuckers in their own serial full fat humbucking mode. They push my amp into a little bit of breakup on the clean channel, and with the pedals all the way up to the Rev G3 and doing the down-tuned metal, they sound absolutely huge. They're fantastic, versatile humbucking pickups, and those alone would make this a wonderful guitar to behold. But adding in the versatility of the tri-sound switches, and you can basically do anything. Split down the bridge humbucker to single coils using the tri-sound switch, and you get great twangy, telly sorts of tones. And this is not going to sound 100% like a Fender Telecaster, but it's definitely going to get you there if you want want to do twangy country stuff or anything in that sort of vein. And using the neck pickup going into the parallel mode, so that's kind of like having two single coils together, it gives you something a little bit like a fat sounding, beefy but slightly quacky Strat or something like that. It's a wonderful sounding thing. And of course the magic happens when you're in the middle pickup selection setting and you've got both pickups on together, and you can have both pickups independently either as a full fat serial humbucker, as a single coil, or as a parallel humbucking pickup as well. So there are so many tones, a true massive array, and I think what you'll probably do is, like I did, get overwhelmed for the first couple of hours, then you'll find your favorite 2 or 3 and you'll work from there. But for me personally, splitting down one of the pickups, take your choice, to single coil and having the other in the parallel mode is a great way to get beefy yet cutting indie and alternative rock tones, and then using the bridge humbucker for everything from thick classic rock tones in the vein of AC/DC through to hard rock tones, punk rock sounds, fast palm muted chugging, and those massive tight modern metal sounds as well. But with this guitar and these pickups, I think you can do everything from jazz to gent and in between. You won't not be able to find any sound with this guitar, and that's a whole lot of double negatives going on, but basically you can play any kind of music 100% authentically with this guitar. And at this price point, $850, I think that is an absolutely wonderful option. Combine that with the playability and the build quality of this guitar, and this really is a fantastic start to 2026. Now, if you've been watching this video and you like the idea of the AR625, but you're wondering what else is out there, well, you could do far worse than trying the rest of the current AR family lineup by Ibanez themselves. The other guitars are all more affordable than the AR625, so they're not going to have features like these Super 80 humbucking pickups. They're not going to have ebony boards or the Tree of Life inlay or anything like that, but they're going to be great guitars nonetheless. There's the solid body AR420 and the hollow body AR520 if you'd like to try those. Otherwise, from Ibanez, if you're looking for a guitar that's a little bit cheaper than this one, but that can also do absolutely everything, my favorite guitar from 2025 was the Ibanez AZ or AZ Standard, and I'll link you to a video of that there. There's a double humbucking version and an HSS version, and those are both wonderful instruments, and hopefully once I get another copy of this guitar, I'll be able to compare that to the AZ Standards to find out which one I personally prefer as a guitar that can do everything. But if you're looking for another guitar in the sub €1,000 or dollar price bracket to cover any kind of musical options, there are going to be many choices out there. You could go for something like a Fender Player Series Telecaster or Stratocaster. You could try a modern day Epiphone Les Paul. There are going to be other options by the likes of Ibanez in their RG families and so on if you want something a bit pointier. So there are many options, and what I would really recommend you do is head down to your local guitar shop, go down and have some fun, play all of the models available, and you'll go home with the one that works best for you. But in my opinion, I don't think I could have started off 2026 with a better guitar than this, and actually I would be surprised if I find a better value for money, better performing, better sounding and more versatile option than the AR625 in 2026. I hope I'm proved wrong, because if I am, this is going to be a vintage year for the electric guitar. But in terms of the playability, in terms of the feel, in terms of the looks, and in terms of the tones, I've been absolutely blown away by the AR625, and I could imagine that this could be a guitar for me moving forward. It's supremely versatile, it sounds great, and I love everything about it, and I'm really sad that I have to give this one back. So Ibanez Germany, if you're watching, I'm looking forward to get another one of these as soon as I can absolutely get one. Anyway, I hope this video has answered all of the questions that you may have had about the AR625FMSP, but if there's anything else you'd like to know, please drop me a line down there in the comments and I shall do my best to answer you. And if you're still around, would really make my day if you wanted to give the video a like, or maybe even sub to my channel, because that really does help. Make sure you check out a couple of the other first look videos I've done on a couple of the other Ibanez 2026 guitars. There's a wonderful Artcore baritone to look at, for example, a new RG, and there's going to be more coming from me in the duration of 2026. But that's been it for today's video. I've been Rich, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.